Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. My name is LaKeesha Hines, and you're watching SOS, where I am saving our sex lives one bedroom at a time. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? How are you on this glorious, glorious Tuesday? I have a couple of announcements for you all. Have a couple of announcements. First and foremost, our new group, Unearth group, is beginning tomorrow. Please keep these ladies in prayer, and our next round of Foundry um, will be coming along soon. And so pray for those brothers. The Unearth retreat is coming up in April. Oh my goodness, it is coming up in April, and you need to make sure you have your face in the place. In addition to that, the Foundry retreat is upon us. It is January. January. I'm going to get those dates for you all because I know you are interested in attending. I know you want to be there. Some of you already have your tickets, right? Some of you are already ready. But for those of you who are not ready yet in terms of your tickets, I want to say, please go ahead and handle that. Please get that done. So, like I said, I will share those dates with you. But just wanted to give you those announcements. Foundry Retreat coming up in January, Unearth Retreat coming up in April. And so we are super, super excited about that. Both going to be phenomenal events. And so you want to make sure you have your face in a place you do not want to miss. Please let me know who you are and where you're streaming from. Good morning, Lady Z from Arizona. Today is actually Q&A. So I need you to drop your questions in the chat. I am answering your questions live today. So please make sure you do that. All right. So I told you about the new Foundry class starting, the new Unearth class starting, Unearth retreat coming up in April, Foundry retreat coming up in January, and I will post those dates for you, and I'll also drop links in the chat where you can get more information. And today, like I said, is Q&A. So the other announcement that I have for you is there will only be two more SOS shows, and then no more SOS. So today counts one, and then Thanksgiving we will be taking that week off, and then the week after will be the last SOS show. And so I just want to say to each and every one of you, I thank you so much for being faithful watchers and supporting everything SOS. Truly appreciate it. But you always have the other episodes to watch. You can always look at the replay, right? Always, always. Hey, Kenny. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So yeah, I know, Lady Z, don't make me cry today. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. You can always watch the replays of the older shows, but that playlist will be available to you on the Couples Academy YouTube channel. But let's take advantage of the time that we have today. Drop your questions in the chat so that I can answer them live for you. I'm going to give you a few minutes to think about what you want to ask. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to take a quick break, give you guys an opportunity to drop your questions, and then we'll get this party started. All right. So don't go anywhere. You're watching SOS. Welcome back. Welcome back. You are watching SOS, and today is Q&A. I'm answering your questions live. I want to say shout out to Lady Z. She says we appreciate all the time you have dedicated to this. You have truly made a difference for me and my husband. Listen, that's what it's all about, sis. At the end of the day, it's all about trying to make sure that we are continuing to build these marriages, lift up these marriages, enjoying each other, enjoying sex together. It's really been about just facilitating healthy conversations surrounding sex. And at the end of the day, what I ultimately want for each and every couple is freedom. I want you to be free, free to express, free to converse, free to ask questions, free to enjoy what it is that God intended for you to have, right? And that you have everything that He intended for you to have. So that has definitely been um the goal, ultimately what I've wanted. And so if I've accomplished that, then glory be to God. Stacy, I'm going to miss you too. So here's the thing, I'm not leaving Couples Academy. If you want to stay connected with me, then you need to join Unearth because I'm there. And if you want to stay connected with me, then you need to make sure that you are at the Unearth retreat, okay? Because I will be there too. And you need to book some sessions, right? So that we can really, really do some one-on-one intensive work to help get your marriage to the next stratosphere. But I do see I have a question in here, so I am going to go to that. Kenny says, been separated 6 years. Both of us are working on coming back together. I get anxiety thinking of becoming intimate after such a long time apart. What are ways to deal with this? Wow, wow, wow. First of all, yay! Separated 6 years, coming back together. Oh my God, that's amazing. To God be the glory. Yeah, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. And excuse me, let me just say, I get the nervousness and the uncomfortableness of being apart and then coming back together. What has changed? What was going on during that time of separation? And then if you haven't dealt with the issues that caused you all to separate in the first place, then I can understand truly why there will be anxiety, Mr. Kenny. So I think what's ultimately most important is that you be open and honest, be fully transparent, talk to your spouse about your concerns. And a lot of times it's fear, right? What fears do you have? Talk to her about your failures, your previous failures. And I think it's important also for the two of you to dream. I think it's important for you all to have a conversation about what went wrong the last time and what do we want to ensure goes right this time. I think it's critical to your success to be able to have a clear, unified vision about what it is that you want for your marriage. Because I think a lot of times what happens is, wife will have one vision, husband will have a different vision. And so we're doing this instead of us doing this, right? We should be walking in lockstep with one another through this journey called life. And we need to make sure that we are on the same page, on one accord. That's why we need to be praying together, right? So we make sure that we are praying the same prayer, that we're asking God for the same things, that I'm not over here asking and praying for one thing and you're praying for something else. So we need to make sure that we are on the same page and we're connected. So Being intimate, though, after being apart, like I said, everything comes down to a conversation. And the first conversation that you need to have is with yourself, to be fully transparent and vulnerable and clear about where the anxiety is coming from. Is it performance based? Is it um performance based for you or her? Are you concerned that you won't be able to satisfy her or please her? Are you concerned that she won't be able to satisfy you or please you? Getting to the root of that is extremely important. And then also, what's happening outside of the bedroom. I understand if you've been separated for 6 years and there's been no sex. I mean, you didn't say that, but I'm reading between the lines. Um, you're probably eager to reconnect in that way. And I completely understand that. But sometimes we have to slow down before we speed up, And I think it's important that the two of you are connecting outside of the bedroom before you jump into reconnecting in the bedroom because we can really mess some things up. So, having conversation about what your expectations are and what her expectations are, what she likes, what she doesn't like, what you don't like, what turns you on and off, both of you, I think is so important. But again, dealing with the root issues that cause the separation in the first place, to me, that's where you start if you haven't done that already. And making sure that both of you are ready. We're not just going to dive back into having sex just because we're back together. Um, we need to make sure that we are fully on the same page with one another. And I hope that makes sense. And, a lot of times, especially for men, and us ladies too, but primarily for men, like you don't want to hear wait. You don't want to hear wait, right? I know that. But the waiting is so powerful. So powerful. And it can definitely create a even more pleasurable experience for the two of you if you take your time and you do it right. All right. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Stacy says, I listen to you. I send text messages and take pictures of new top drawer items. Yes. Tell him my needs. This man still doesn't do. Okay, I'm not saying that. I stop doing the first move. My mind is thinking negative thoughts. Oh, Stacy, I thought this was a celebration. Okay, so I thank you for listening first and foremost. I see you saying that you send text messages, you take pictures of things, and I'm assuming you send that to him. And he doesn't do anything. So and you said you stopped doing the first move, so I get that. And you said your mind is thinking negative thoughts. So I don't know what negative thoughts are you thinking, like that he's doing something? Like what negative thoughts are you having? I'm curious about that. But the thing is, you can only do what you can do, Stacy. And at the end of the day, I like to empower women to ask for what it is that they want and need. So if you are feeling like you want or need to be intimate with your husband, be intimate with your husband. Like, you don't have to wait for him to initiate. Now, with that being said, I understand that you don't want to always be the person initiating. I definitely get that for sure. And I don't know if the two of you have had a heart to heart conversation about that and how it makes you feel when he doesn't initiate. And so maybe he doesn't see the heart behind the matter. Also, you said you tell him your needs. Does he understand how to meet them? And so I already know what you're saying. Like, LaKeesha, I have explained that. I've told this man, I've sent him pictures, blah, blah, blah. We done sent smoke signals and I understand. But sometimes we think, ladies, that we're doing a great job of communicating and we think they should just know and we think they should get it and it should be clear and transparent. But a lot of times they still don't get it. No disrespect, brothers. But sometimes they still don't get it. So you may have said, these are my needs. Okay, so let me break it down. Let me give you an example. Um, a wife says to her husband, I need more foreplay. Okay. So the husband may do more of what he's already doing. And then the wife goes, "Didn't I tell you I need more foreplay?" He's confused because he's like, "Well, I'm giving you more, let's just say kisses on the neck, right? I'm kissing you longer on the neck than what I normally do. I normally get in like two or three licks and then, on the left side, then I move to the right side and then, whatever. But I'm giving you like 5 licks on each side. Like I'm giving you more foreplay." But was that really what she was asking for? She was asking for a variety of different types of foreplay. That's not clear. When you say, "I want more foreplay," that's a general blanket statement of, "I want more foreplay." And so that's open to his own interpretation. So he may not respond in the way that you desire him to because he's not clear on how to carry that out. And again, I'm just using this as an example. And obviously, I don't know all the details and I don't know what all you all discussed and talked about and how clear and concise you have been with your spouse. But if you haven't been clear and concise, that would be my recommendation, Stacy, is to literally break it down for this man like you are talking to a small child, so that there is no room for misunderstandings or confusion or anything. Break it down to him to its bare bones. Yeah, I want you to lick my neck. I want you to lick wherever, whatever. And I need you to spend more time. And I want you to slow down, or I want you to speed up, whatever it is. Okay. Be clear, concise, and direct. Because a lot of times, even though we're communicating and we feel like we're articulating clearly what it is that we want and we need, sometimes our partners, they still don't get it. They don't understand. Okay. And as far as making a first move, I feel you on that. But I'm just like, if you want it, sis, take it, initiate. Okay. I'm not saying take it, but I'm saying communicate. Okay. And if you want it, then go for yours. Go for yours. And as far as the negative thoughts are concerned, a lot of times that's the trick of the enemy. The enemy wants to get us thinking negative thoughts. He wants us to be divided, and he wants us angry with each other, because when we're angry with each other, we stop praying for each other, we stop talking, we stop communicating, we stop doing all of the things that we know will be pleasing in the eyesight of God, that will strengthen our union. We start doing the complete opposite of that, and that's what the enemy does. So don't let him win. All right. Hey, Anthony, Alicia, Walker. Hey, sis. How are you? All righty. Kikoba Fit. Hi, and thank you. Question: how's the best way to introduce your work to my wife so we can have the opportunity to heal for real after her affairs came out? I want to heal our friendship. Okay. So, first of all, thank you so much for your question. And it has been my pleasure to serve each and every one of you. And as I said, those of you who are just joining, I just want to let you know that we have two more SOS shows and then no more SOS. In case you're just joining, I want to make sure you hear that announcement right from me. There's no issue, there's no problem. I'm not disgruntled, I'm not angry. I am still in love with each and every one of you and with everything Couples Academy. But we are going through seasonal changes, right? There sometimes things are for a season, sometimes it's for a lifetime, right? Sometimes it's just you need to do something different, right? And so like I said, if you want to stay connected with me, join Unearth. You want to stay connected with me, be at that Unearth retreat, book a session, right? And that's what I would say to you, Kikoba. I would say, man, show her the videos for one, and then secondly, I would say schedule a session, like make a discovery call with her. You guys call in together, and we can identify what your needs are, and we can actually put a plan in place to be able to assist whatever it is that you all are going through. And I understand that you said, there have been multiple affairs on her part. So there is support that's needed on your part as well as her part. And so the one thing that I can truly say is that I truly am um able to see things from both sides, from both perspectives. I understand the hurt and pain of the betrayed, and I understand the hurt and pain of the betrayer because they're in pain too. So I would say make that discovery call, reach out, and let's get some sessions going so we truly can help you all heal for real. In your words, not mine, but to heal for real. And I think what you said was extremely valuable about healing the friendship. Absolutely. That is so important because one of the things I can say, even in my own relationship, is that there was a breakdown in the friendship between my husband and I. And the thing is, when you are cultivating and nurturing that friendship, you don't want to hurt your friend, right? So you do whatever you have to do so that you don't hurt your friend. And so, yes, it is important to get that friendship back. But definitely let her watch the shows, send her links to the shows, make a discovery call. And, if there's something specifically that you guys are looking to work on, I got you. So you just need to reach out. You just need to reach out and make that discovery call. Peace, peace. Frenchie K757. Hey, Miss Jewel. My sister Jewel is in the house. Good morning, excuse me, afternoon. All right, Stacy, I see you went on to say if we haven't done something for 5 months, who is he getting it from? Those are the thoughts. Okay, his answer is I know we do. We kiss each other every night before bed, watch TV and hold hands. I would try to break it down to him. Yes, this, and I mean, same thing. I'm saying to Kikoba, reach out, make a discovery call. There's something that is missing intimately between the two of you. And so I would say reach out, make a discovery call. Let's book a session and let's try to get to the root of what's really going on because it sounds like you still have a desire to be intimate with your husband, and it sounds like there's a level of intimacy that he still desires as well. If he's, in bed with you every night, kissing you, holding hands, and those type things. Um, so it sounds like there's still at least some level of desire to be close to you and to be connected with you. But for whatever reason, he's not initiating the sex and he's not doing the things that you're asking him to do. So now, uh-oh. I just saw your other comment. You said I'm not his job, bar and Bud Light after 6 years. I don't know what you mean by that, Stacey. You said you're not his job, bar and Bud Light. Are you saying that that's where his focus is and that's where his attention is? And if that's what you're saying, this is not uncommon, especially if you all have been married for quite some time. Sometimes marriages get stale, and I'm not saying that that's exactly what's going on in your situation. I'm speaking generally. A lot of times, if we don't keep pouring into the relationship, nurturing, cultivating that ground, right, that it will get stale, it will get old, we will get bored. So we have to make sure that we're continuing to pour into our relationship. Otherwise, we will get bored. We have to switch it up and change things. And a lot of times with men, specifically, especially if they're the primary breadwinner in the house, they can get overwhelmed with the task of being a husband. And if there are children involved, being a father and having to go out into the world and work and provide. And I know it's hard for us too, ladies. I don't want to minimize what we do, but for men, it's different. It's different. The weight that is on their shoulders is way heavier than the weight that is on ours. It's different. It's just different. And our weight is heavy too. It's just different for a man. I've said multiple times, knowing the assignment and the responsibility that God puts on men, I'm happy, okay, to do what I do as a woman and deal with what I have to deal with as a woman. So I just think you and your husband really need to have a heart to heart and try to identify where that disconnect took place, because that's what it sounds like to me, and get to the root of what the issue is. And a lot of times when men are not being sexually active with their wives, yes, obviously that's the go to thought that he's sleeping with someone else, but it may not be that. It may be that he is just so overwhelmed with everything else that he has going on that he's just checked out. And that can happen. And it can happen to us as well as wives. We can check out too. We can get so overwhelmed with everything we have to do that we check out. So make a discovery call. Call today. Let's see if we can get you guys back reconnected. And when I say let's see if, I know I have what it takes to give you what you need to be able to get where you want to go, but you got to be willing to do the work. Both of you. Both of you, both of you, both of you. Frenchie, you like my comment when I said take it? I'm just saying we married. And in the word says, not LaKeisha, the word says that my husband's body do not belong to him and my body don't belong to me. Okay. So it is a mutual thing. And I will tell you, we have to give each other permission to ask for what it is that we want from each other. And now obviously that's not in a against someone's will. We always are making sure that we have consent for whatever we are doing sexually and that we're in agreement and we're on the same page. But my body don't belong to me and his don't belong to him. Okay? That body is mine. And if I want it, you better give it to me. All right. Is it Jerry on? I think how do I get back to being happy with my marriage after infidelity on my behalf? All right. So great question. And I will say, here's the thing. What was it? And I'm not asking you to answer this question in the chat. I'm saying I want you to think about it. What was it that caused you to be unfaithful in the first place? We got to go back there because if we don't deal with whatever that was, you won't be happy. And I will say this too about this happiness thing because, this is something that we do as human beings naturally. We don't want pain. We don't want to go through anything. We want life to be peaches and cream. We want unicorns and rainbows and we want it to be gooey gooey gumdrops. I know. Me too. But the reality is that's not reality. We were going to go through things, whether you are a believer or not, but especially believers, because the tests come to test us and the trials come to try us. And if Jesus had to bleed and die, if he had to be persecuted, if he had to be, all of the horrible things that happened to Jesus, who are we? Of course, we're going to share in that suffering. And so that means that we have to almost anticipate that there are going to be tests and trials that are going to come. They're there to strengthen our faith. The tests are there to become a testimony. And we have to go through things so that we actually can see the God working in our lives every single day, working in our marriages, working in our individual lives. Is there to stretch us and to test our faith. For sure, for sure, for sure. To stretch our faith, to increase our faith, intensify our faith. And so now, with all of that being said, with this happiness thing, the Bible never said that we were going to be happy. The Bible does speak about joy, though. Unspeakable joy. How do we have joy? Well, trusting, depending, leaning on the Lord. So, a lot of times when we're not happy, it's because we're basing our happiness on someone else's actions or someone else's words, thoughts, beliefs, and situations and circumstances, which continue to change. And so, happiness, my husband said this so profoundly and poetically. Happiness is based on happenings. And what does that mean? Circumstances and situations. And so if I am walking down the street and I find $100 on the ground and nobody's around, so I don't have nobody who I could possibly say, hey, did you drop this? That's my $100. I'm happy. But if I go the next day and I have $45 in my pocket and my cell phone in my pocket, and I went to take my cell phone out and the $45 fell out on the ground. I didn't notice it, and I'm on my way somewhere to buy something with that $45. I get there and the money is gone and I can't find it. I'm not going to be happy. So here's the thing, when we have joy in our hearts, no matter what the circumstances or situation, we continue to be happy. Excuse me. We continue to have joy. We continue to have joy. So that's what we're striving for, not happiness. So I just want to plug that about the happiness thing. But after infidelity, getting back to joy, get to the root of what caused the infidelity, do the work to heal from that, transfer, change your heart, change your mindset. You will change, and ultimately, your spouse will change and your marriage will change, but you have to do the work. So, make that discovery call, reach out, go to couplesacademy.org. You can get all the information that you need about how to get in contact with me so that we can begin your healing journey. So, Like I said, next week, Thanksgiving, I am off. I'm off. I'm off. Enjoy the time with your family. Enjoy your holiday. There'll probably be like a replay of another show next week. I will do one more live show and that'll be it. So thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.